Well, hello and welcome back to the currency game. So this is a little bit different video. Um, I just want to start off by saying this because this is for since I only trade crypto, and this is the main thing I see in this realm of trading with crypto. Stop letting crypto influencers waste your time. Like, seriously. If you're still out here chasing 100x coins, they just posted about on these social media platforms, YouTube, praying the next altcoin pump is going to magically make you this millionaire. You are not investing, you're gambling, period. Most of the time, you're either getting in too late, getting wrecked, or waiting years hoping the chart comes back to life. But here's what they're not telling you. You don't need a 100x coin to become a millionaire in crypto. You could actually become a crypto millionaire in a year. You don't need to hope, chase, or sit through another market cycle holding dead altcoins. You can use crypto strategically with skill to make yourself a millionaire in less than a year. No more waiting, no more hoping for pumps, no more blowing up your account, trying to time the next hype cycle. You can do it with compound trading. This is something that you can develop a skill with and that you can use forever. Whereas holding, hoping, hunting 100x coins is not a skill. And it's not something that you can repeat. So with compound trading, you can do it. You can make intentional moves, small wins, and stacking gains. And I'm going to go over how to do this. And I've been doing this pretty much all through the year, starting with the $100 to the 100K challenge to kind of get people into that mode of building. Seems slow at first, but then you're building a skill with the least amount of risk if you follow the rules that I'm using. And you don't have to like blow out your account. Like, you don't have to blow your money doing that. So I understand that, yes, don't get me wrong. There was a time when holding altcoins and hunting 100x gems actually worked. Between 2020 and 2022, we were in one of the wildest bull markets in crypto history. And I was a part of that. And I was, I even had a Facebook group where I was, showing the coins, right? The whole market was pumping, money was flowing everywhere, and you could almost throw a dart and hit a coin that would give you a 10, 50, even 100x. Even at like the end of 2024, you could have gotten that with not really holding, but like basically hunting 100x meme coins, right? But you still need to be very like on time with finding those coins, knowing when to get in, knowing when to get out. And it still was like very much so gambling if you did not develop your skill of trading. So, here's the thing. That strategy worked for a specific environment. The reason why it's not working today, and it probably will get work, like it probably will get to a point. I'm not saying that there'll never be any coins that does that. That's not what I'm saying. Is that, and yes, there may be points and times where you get those gains, because even when I'm gonna show you in my compounding trading, there are times where in a day I got a 65% increase in an hour or so. But that just came as a part of the process of compound trading. Does that happen every day? Every day? No. Does it happen every week? No. But what does happen every day, and well, at least every week, there are small trades to compound your money off of. So that's not where we, like, basically that's not where we are in 2025, and especially going into 2026. Another reason is because, just like I posted in the video before this one, is that you got platforms like Robinhood that has tokenized coins, or a tokenized stock, right? So it's not just going to be stock, it's going to be like they're going to tokenize real estate, they're going to, private companies. And so that means that this money is going to get like spread out more and more and more. So you're going to have people that's like trading meme coins, you're going to have people that's trading token stocks, you're going to have people that's trading private company tokens, you're going to have people, that money is going to get spread out. So the number of times of coins popping off 100x and all that kind of stuff, like, it's going to become more rare and rare, and we're already seeing it, if you just be honest with yourself. Okay, so let's get into how to really be a millionaire crypto in a year, or a little over a year. All right, so even, just to even get to the point where you can pay yourself more than an engineer makes in a pay cycle would be great for a lot of people, including me. so let's get into it. So you might ask, what is compound trading? So compound trading is basically flipping money. Basically, you start with, say you start with $100, you make a trade that had a 10% gain. You go from $100 to $110. You take that $110, make another trade, and let's say it's another 10%. And now that $110 is $121. And you keep going until you build that account up. The part that probably would throw people off is they feel like they're not making money because they are so adapt to these videos of these quick wins and these huge wins, without realizing that a lot of these people who are showing these quick wins of, I made $5,000, $20,000, $40,000 in one trade, but then you're forgetting that they have a certain amount of money in that account to get a trade like that off of a small trade. So and they're using margin, which is really, really risky for someone who may not be a really good trader, or maybe just starting out learning how to trade. So they end up blowing their account 50 million times before it actually clicks. So the way I teach trading is with compound trading is you're basically taking a small amount of money, whether it's $100 or $1,000 or $500, whatever. And you just keep flipping it until it reaches a certain point where now you can start paying yourself. And even as you're paying yourself, you're still flipping that money because you're getting different percentages every week of gains. By the end of that year, you're definitely in the high six figures, almost to $1 million. Okay? And I'm going to show you how. So, if you look at this, and I actually did this in ChatGPT, but I'm also going to show you my spreadsheet of the trades I've made since January, the beginning of January, for the $100 to $100K challenge, right? So in this chart that you see that I put in a prompt with ChatGPT, if you're starting out with $100, how long would it take you in which I put a 20% weekly gain? And that is so very possible because I've proven it. And that's why I choose crypto, because crypto has a lot of volatility. But I don't want to use that. I want to use that volatility to get me the gains, but I don't want to use that volatility to blow my account. So that's why I don't use margin. I want to use the volatility to get my gains, but I want to control my risk. So that's why I don't use margin. I use the crypto to get the gains, and I don't use margin to manage my risk. So I could start with $100 and lose 10 times and still have most of my money because I do a 2% risk. I don't enter a trade unless it's 2% or less. So those are the rules that I follow, and it keeps me in the game without blowing my money all the time and having to figure out, oh my God, now I need to find some more money, or I just give up, right? So here it shows if you have $100 by month 10. Now some of those weeks you're gonna get more than a 20% gain, and I can show you in my chart, right? And I'm only trading one or two, or maybe like at the most 3 or 4 different coins that I just keep up with. And or you could do it with 1 or 2 coins, like something like Bitcoin and Bonk, because they go together. You could do it with XRP and Bitcoin and XLM, because they all kind of go together. So by the end of the year, you would be at over $100,000. Now, does it mean that you have to wait 10 months before you have money to spend from this? No. You can start spending at when you get around maybe $2,000. You can start paying yourself a little bit, especially when you get to like maybe like I'll say $5,000 by month 5 or 6. You know, maybe even sooner. Depends on if you're getting more than 20% weekly. You should be able to pay yourself. And definitely after you hit like above, I'll say 7,000, 8,000, you should be paying yourself very well. And still have like a great account to flip into 100K, higher 6 figures to $1 million in a year, or a little over a year. Now, if you were to start with $1,000 account, you're just gonna get that faster, right? As long as you're sticking to the rules, doing demand zones for buying, and support and resistance, basically demand and supply, whatever you want to call it, floors and ceilings, and using trends. That's all I use is support and resistance, and those come in forms of demand and supply zones, fibs, and trend lines. That's it. Like, don't make this more complicated. Set your chart up. I got another video. I just did a video on how I set my chart up. This is how I keep it structured, keep it simple. I don't like trying to use everybody's strategies. Now, I'm not telling you that this is strategy for you, but this is definitely working for crypto, because I can prove it. And it definitely will compound your money. It definitely will take a little money and make it a big amount of money without having to hunt and hope and pray for a pump and waiting years and like, oh my God, it's never happening. So here, even if a person started with $1,000, 20% gain every week with maybe 2 to 3 trades to give you that 20% gain, by month 7, you should be at 6 figures. It's saying by 1 or 2 months past that, you should be pretty much a millionaire. Now, I started out with the $100, so it did take longer, but it is taking longer. But you know what? I'm able to pay myself. But like, whereas if I had been like just trying to find these 100x coins and waiting for them to pump, I probably would still be waiting right now, because ain't nothing pumping like that right now. Ain't nothing pumping on 100x, 1000x right now. Ain't nothing. But so why wait when I don't have to wait? So let me go to I'm gonna go to my spreadsheet, and I have made some changes to it from the last time I showed this spreadsheet, but I'll show that on another video. So I'm hiding those columns because I'm just starting to do that. Like, one of the things I'm starting to do is track what coin I'm trading, what's the risk that I had on that coin, And I might add a couple other things that I want to track. So, but anyway, let's go to that, and then we're gonna go to the chart last but not least, and then that's it. So, all right. All right, so this is the sheet, the spreadsheet I've been using to track the $100 to 100K. So I originally started with $121. And if right here in this column right here, I have like, you'll see like the weekly gain. So I basically am summing up like my gains for that week. So you see how many trades, only been on the first week. We took $121, made $144. Not a lot of money at the beginning, but this is money that $121 I probably would have spent on God knows what, right? So I'm still doing whatever I'm doing, boom, whatever. And then if you notice, so like, where was 1 week 22%, 45%, 36%, 50%, 65%, because there's times where you get those big jumps, right? You had a 22%, 34%, 9% gain that week, right? 50%. Then there were times where I didn't even trade at all. Like this blue, that means I didn't trade at all, right? You see a 10%. I only traded 1 week, right? 18% is a little bit below 20%. But I'm saying on average 20%, because there's some weeks that you getting 50% and 60%. There are weeks are you getting like 10, 15%. But it all kind of balances out over time, right? So there's like a few weeks I didn't trade at all, because maybe I was doing something. I know there was a time where I was traveling, or there might be a week there like I didn't find a trade, like maybe because I didn't want to take a short and things were going down, and I probably could have took a short, but I didn't do it, right? Because I don't really do short trades. So here we are today, right? So the last one that I finished was 8.6%, right? But here we are at 100, starting at $100, like, and just by being consistent, following the rules, and the account can go from $100 to 38,000. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the account is not at 38,000 because I have been taking money out. But I'm just trying to show you, because I said I'm never gonna show my account. That's none of y'all business. I'm just showing you. I can show you my trades, show you the trades. I ain't got nothing to prove. I ain't making no money off of this. And you either can believe a chart or you don't. I've even shown myself as I enter the trade, like where I would enter and where I want to get out. And then you will see where it ended up, right? Pretty much in the same area that I said I probably wanted to get out of. So, but yeah, so if you did take any money out, you would be at $38,000 right now. And this is just month 7. And then like with 8.6 percent was worth $3,000 just for that one trade, right? Like I could just be like, I don't want to do anything, right? And I'm still not at 6 figures for the balance, right? But let's say that I already showed from ChatGPT. You just keep going with this. But let me just put a hypothetical. Let's just put like a 20% week, and let's just put that for the rest of the year, because we was basing off of 20%. See, it varies from week to week. Let me see. Whatever. I'm gonna just put 20%, and you'll see. Let me just do like, you get 5%. 5%. And 5%. 5% trades are pretty easy to find in crypto. Like, I don't even do as hard as work as I probably could do in finding like 5% every day. Like, I kind of do it a little bit lazy way, but that is not very like hard to do. So let's say for the rest of the year, that's what we were doing, which is very reasonable. Where would we be at if we didn't take any money out? And even if we did, I could show that, but that's just take up too much time. I mean, we'll be at $5 million. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it sounds unbelievable, but it's just pure compounding math. And that's usually something people, their minds can't wrap around, compounding math, because they're used to simple math. So, but it is what it is. Like, the numbers are there, right? So I can even put in, like, we paid ourselves like half of the profit, because not all the times you need that whole amount. Like, why would you need $127,000 in 1 week unless you buying some major purchase, right? So, like, let's say you pay yourself $3,000 a week. Some people don't even need that per week, right? So let's go where we are right now. So minus 3,000, right? And all the way to the end, where would we? Let's see where we would be at. We paid ourselves $3,000 a week. We'll still be over $2 million. Like, so this is where the game does change as you get higher and higher with the amount. So you probably would maybe at a certain point pick only Bitcoin to trade, because it has so much money at one time in Bitcoin that it'll be enough to handle the money that you're using to trade with. Or you could say, you know what, like, I don't have to show $1 million in my account. I'm pretty much creating myself $1 million. Or I could get to a certain point where I decide that, okay, I'm only going to trade with $100,000. That's my max. And anything beyond what I take out for myself to spend, anything else goes to Bitcoin or whatever other asset. And then I let that turn me into a millionaire or whatever. Like, or you can keep trading and take yourself to the millionaire. But you can definitely do it within a year of being a millionaire, period. You really can. It's not like, what makes it hard is trying to jump from A to Z. You're trying to eat the whole elephant at one time. No, just take bite by bite, and before you know it, you've eaten the whole elephant. That's it. So let's go to the chart. Showed this chart yesterday, and I basically used the same things. These green areas are demand or support areas or floors, whatever you want to call it. The gray areas are resistance areas. If they come up and come past, bust through that area and hit, like, make a bounce, make another support, then that resistance becomes a support or a floor. It's kind of like when you have a high-rise building and you on first floor, that second floor, the first floor ceiling is the second floor's floor, if that makes sense. Same concept. So I got out. I was hoping that we could reach all the way up here, but I created my trend line which is the parallel channel. I put an alert on that. So when it started coming out, I saw it. I got alerted. I had 15 minutes to react. Okay, because I'm on the 15-minute chart, and I put my limit order below this candle right here. So the candle where it came out, right below there. So you come out of there, buddy, then I'm out, and I'm okay with that. Even if it had came out and came shot back up, I'm not getting back in, because that goes against my rule, and that will bust my account, and I already know that. So, and I'm just looking for the small wins to compound. Sometimes I get lucky with a bigger amount of that win, because there's a bigger gap, right, to be had. So between the floor and the ceiling, right? So, but that is it. It's really just keeping it simple, knowing your rules, sticking to them, and trading by it. And not, sometimes you might have to analyze. I'm always analyzing my trades. Like, why did I win that trade? What did I do? What did I do differently? That's why I'm gonna do my tracking, because that tracking, I'm trying to use it as like it is a journal, but it's not enough information in that journal. So I'm gonna put more information in that journal and analyze that data. So, but I want to keep the trading, the trading process very simple. Buy in demand, sell in resistance. Don't buy above 50% of the last swing. That's it. And keep a 2% risk, 2% or less. That's it. So that will do it. Hope you guys, and if you got something out of this, please, you can subscribe. You don't have to do if you want to, but one thing is that if this is a strategy you want to use, then subscribe. Hit like to let me know if this helped or not. That's my, way of knowing if my information is helpful or not helpful. Or make a comment, let me know, hey, I have a question or whatever. I don't agree with what you said, blah, 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 whatever. So that I can know, because sometimes I know what I have in my head and I might be saying something that's not really clicking. So, but thanks guys, and I'll see you the next go round.